Hey, my name is Molt. I'm a youth pastor and a Bible teacher at my church, and I've been a youth pastor at my church about a decade now. And so I am definitely no expert, but I have a lot of experiences and failures and losses. And I know that you probably want to grow your youth ministry, and that is a good thing. And I'm going to share with you 3 steps that I use to kind of make adjustments and to get momentum in our youth ministry. But I just want to caveat this and say we got to be careful, right? Because there's nowhere in Scripture that there's a mandate on pastors, let alone youth pastors, right, to grow their churches numerically. We got to make sure that we're being careful, that we're not deeming that as success, right? Because if that were the case, then the Apostle Paul was not very successful. So I'm just saying we got to be careful, but it's good to have a zeal and a passion to see the lost saved and to have an evangelistic bent to what we're doing. So maybe your youth ministry is kind of in a rut right now and you're a youth leader or a youth pastor or, somebody like that, or maybe you're aspiring to be one and you're kind of in a rut. You're doing the same thing over and over, or you're not sure how to get some momentum. I kind of have 3 steps on how to make changes and adjustments when it comes to youth ministry. And I'm gonna use this illustration of a boat to help it make more sense throughout this video. Step number 1 is this: you have to identify what are the needs. So if we're thinking about a boat here and there are holes, right, and water is getting in, the first thing you do is you don't direct the sails or put them up. You're not thinking about all the other peripheral things. If the boat is literally sinking, you got to figure out how to plug the holes. So in your youth ministry or your context, that might mean like, man, our worship has not been that great, and we have a lot of cancellations and sometimes we can't do worship. It might be around like, man, we just don't have enough leaders to kind of fulfill the vision that we have for the youth ministry, and we would love to do more small groups and discussions, and we don't have the team. But I've talked to so many youth pastors and they're just starting out, or maybe they're not where they want to be, and all they're talking about is future ideas and dreams and things like that. And oftentimes I want to slow them down and go, okay, but what are the holes in the boat that you got to plug? Okay, once you get some of those holes patched, if you will, in the boat, the next step then is to figure out where the boat is going. So directing the sails in the direction that your youth ministry needs to go. This would be vision, dreams, goals, things of that nature. In other words, what do you hope to do with this youth ministry? An emphasis is like a distinctive. It's what makes you unique, and it's what makes your youth ministry stand out. So for the second one, we're trying to figure out like, how do we take our emphasis, our distinctives, and how do we grow in that area, and how do we actually build and go forward? And this third one might be the most overlooked one oftentimes. Once you've patched the holes in the boat, once you've set the direction of the sails, like where you're going as a youth ministry and the changes that you need to make, then the question is, what is your capacity with the people on the boat? Now listen, I know that there's some people out there who are youth pastors at pretty big churches or mega churches, and they have, I have friends who they have 3 or 4 people working underneath them just in their youth ministry. They have admins and worship and production and all this stuff. Well, me in my context, I don't have that type of team that's paid. I have volunteers, and they have jobs, and some of them have families and things of that nature. And so I have to really be careful to make sure that just because people are going to say yes to something and taking on something, whether that be social media or planning an event or whatever it is, I have to help make sure that our team can handle this in the long term. Especially younger and newer leaders to youth ministry, they will oftentimes just say yes because they're honored that you asked them and they're excited about the vision that you brought forth. Usually in the second step, when we're talking about vision, I'm trying to push people forward and really get them thinking outside their box. But when it comes to capacity, I'm usually reining people in a little bit and going, okay, but is this realistic? Can we do this? You gotta really critically think about this. So anyways, those are just things you got to think through. And so hopefully that is helpful to you as a youth leader, youth pastor. If you like this video, I talk a lot about theology and ministry, and oftentimes how to fuse those things together. And so make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Make sure to like and comment this video down below. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in the next video.